Next, we go to 8.4, handling missing data. In this section, the objectives are, firstly, use the DSD option to read consecutive delimiters as missing values. Secondly, use the missover option to recognize missing values at the end of a record. Based on this business scenario, Rhinestar programmers discovered that some files have records with missing data in one or more fields. When referring to phone2.csv, the missing data in the middle of the record, in this example, have a contact name, phone number, and a mobile number. The phone number is missing from some of the records. So if you look here, missing data is indicated by consecutive delimiter. So this is the comma separated value. So if you can see here, comma and followed by the consecutive comma, the same as with the other observation, comma and comma. So this is indicate as a missing values. Then go to your P1 data. So we can see that from form2.csv, right click, you can see from the notepad. So from this CSV, this is the missing value appear because of the consecutive comma, and the same as for the observation respectively. The consecutive delimiters in the list input. This input treats two or more consecutive delimiters as a single delimiter and not as a missing value. Partial phone2.csv as we shown before. Then if we can see here, this is the consecutive delimiter. When there is missing data in a record, SAS does the following. Firstly, loads the next record to finish the observation. Secondly, write a note to the log. From this short answer pool, you can submit the P108A03 and examine the log and output. How many input records were read and how many observations were created. Then does the output look correct? So we can try run this command and submit from the editor window. Okay, this is the log has been detected. 5 records were read and also 3 observations with the 3 variable. So the output is look like this. Okay, James, Sabrina, Karen, phone, and then mobile, it can read as the name. So meaning that this is not correct. Then you have to use DSD option in order to correct read phone2.csv. So you just put the DSD at the end of the in file statement before you close by semicolon. So you can see the general form in file, raw data file, and the LM, and followed by the DSD. So DSD option does the following. Firstly, set the default delimiter to a comma. Secondly, treats consecutive delimiters as missing values. Then enable SAS to read values with embedded delimiter if the value is enclosed in quotation marks. Once you submit the command, you can viewing the output. Adding the DSD option gives the correct result. Prop print output is look like this. So meaning that the comma with the consecutive comma will put the missing value blank. And also the same as for the fourth observation. When referring partial SAS log, you can see 5 records were read and we have 5 observations and 3 variables. Then go to the editor window and we put the DSD at the same line with the in file statement before you close the semicolon. Then you can prop print the data and see what happened to our data set. Before that, we go to the log. Okay, so there were 5 observations read from this data set with the 3 variables. So from the output or result, you can see that the result of this phone2.csv will read in correctly. So if we compare with the above output, so this can put the blank as a missing value, and also for the other observation too. For next business scenario, Orion Star programmers discovered that some files have observations with missing data at the end of the record. As a result, there are fewer fields in the record than specified in the input statement. From the missing values at the end of a record, we can see from the raw data file phone.csv contains missing value at the end of some record. If you can see the second and fourth observation, the missing value happen at the end of the record. The DSD options is not appropriate because the missing data is not marked by consecutive delimiters. From P1 data, we can see the phone.csv dataset. This is the missing at the end of the observation. Go to editor window, then we try to print out this data without doing any option. From SAS log, we can see that the 3 observation has been read. Okay, the 5 records and 3 observation has been read, 5 record, but 3 observation and variable. Then if you can refer to result viewer, only 1, 2, 3 observation, and then this is not correct because of mobile that put the name of the customer. Then what should we do is we have to use miss over option that prevents SAS from loading a new record when the end of the current record is reached. So you can put the miss over at the end of the in file statement. Okay, in file, raw data file, DLF, and followed by miss over. So if SAS reach the end of a record without finding values for all fields, variables without value are set to missing. Then when we refer to the viewing the output, the partial SAS log show 5 records were read, and we have 5 observation and 3 variable. So meaning that at the end of the second and fourth observation will be missing value for the mobile variable. From that editor window, we can put miss over in the in file statement, and once we submit the program, okay, then we refer to SAS log, 5 observation with 3 variable, and then the result viewer show the output. The second and fourth observation has a missing value for the mobile variable compared to the before we apply the option miss over. This is the summary for in file options. In file followed by the raw data, and you can put the DLM, DSD, or miss over. So the option for DLM equal specifies an alternative delimiter, for example comma or tab. DSD sets the default delimiter to a comma, treats consecutive delimiters as missing values, and allows embedded delimiters when the data value is enclosed in quotation marks. Lastly, for miss over, sets variables to missing if the end of the record is reached before finding values for all fields. Then that was the end of chapter 8. Thank you.